Here we go with yet another racist piece of you know what. To all those that say racism doesn't exist, here's an example showing that it does. Illinois woman in critical condition after being shot by neighbor, May 11th, 2024. A 45-year-old woman remains in critical condition after being shot by her 70-year-old neighbor in Illinois on May 7th. Will County Sheriff's Office deputies arrested John P. Shadbar over the alleged shooting of Melissa Roberts. According to the Will County Sheriff's Office, she received gunshot wounds to her chest and her hand. The incident occurred near 144th Place and Rickerman Road in unincorporated Lockport Township in and around 5 p.m. local time. Witness claimed that Mr. Shadbar fired multiple shots at Miss Robertson, according to a statement posted by the sheriff's offices on Facebook. Deputies with the sheriff's offices reported to the location after they were alerted to shots being fired in the neighborhood. Upon arrival, they secured the area and administered life-saving measures to the victim, following which she was rushed to an area hospital. After shooting the victim, John Shadbar entered the residence for a brief time and barricaded himself inside. A crisis negotiator with the Will County Sheriff's Office spoke to the offender over the phone and convinced him to exit his residence with his hands up. While speaking to the crisis negotiator, Shadbar made several incriminating statements. The statement said, following his arrest, Mr. Shadbar was transported to the Will County Sheriff's Office Public Safety Complex for questioning. At the complex, Mr. Shadbar would not make any statements to detectives regarding this incident. The statement added, he is currently held at the Will County Adult Detention Facility. He was officially charged on May 9th with a number of crimes, including attempted first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and a hate crime. Detective involved with the investigation believed that the incident was racially motivated. Now, it was racially motivated, but the person he shot was a white female. But the initial problems stemmed from racism. Interesting. In the most recent update posted on May 10th, the sheriff's office said that Miss Roberts remains in critical condition. The victim's family has set up a GoFundMe page to raise money for her recovery, which has been able to raise over $6,000 at the time of publishing. The shot to Melissa's stomach damaged her colon and spleen and shattered several ribs, which the surgeons removed. The GoFundMe page reads, she had extensive surgery and is currently on a ventilator. She also required reconstructive hand surgery. The bullet tore up quite a bit of her thumb and index finger. Ordinarily, they would amputate, but because the thumb is so important, the doctors will try to save it, it read. Weapons seized. Following the incident, a search warrant was conducted at Mr. Shadbar's home, where officers found 5 weapons located inside a wall and seized them. The sheriff's office listed the weapons found as 2 AK-47 style rifles, a shotgun, and 2 handguns. One of the AK-47 rifles is believed to be the weapon used in the shooting, the officer said. Sheriff of Will County, Mike Kelly, praised the personnel who responded to the incident. Okay, he's praising the personnel who responded to the incident. Let me say this. I watched the story before I started doing this, and what's going on is this white woman has, I believe, 2 adopted black sons, and this man has been harassing them over several years. And over several years, they've been calling the police and making complaints about their neighbor, and nothing was done. In the video, the victim was recording him shooting his rifles, and she said she's glad she got it on camera. When contacting the police, they believe it could have been fireworks. So save your praise, because this should have not got this far. You let these white supremacists go by unchecked until they shoot someone, and then you're giving your officers praise for coming on the scene. The lack of doing nothing before the shooting is partly your responsibility. It's on your hands because you did nothing. All right, let me keep reading. Sheriff of Will County Mike Kelly praised the personnel who responded to the incident. Deputies from Will County Sheriff's officers from the Lockport Police Department and Lockport Township fire personnel collaborated and worked together to ensure the victim could be stabilized and transported out of harm's way, he said. This is a prime example on how teamwork and training are an important aspect of this job. Now, he's sitting here and praising the officers for what a wonderful job they did, but yet this department did nothing when these people were complaining about this nuisance of a neighbor. Responding personnel contained the situation, helped to evacuate the injured, and took the offender in custody without any further injury or incident. Yeah. So while this sheriff's sitting up here praising the response of his officers, they don't mention it, and this story doesn't mention how he was allowed to harass these people over several years, and they did nothing about it. See if I can find a picture of the family for a thumbnail. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.